Hello my dear viewers, welcome back to Ruhoni Sewing. Happy New Year. So we are going to continue with our series of the spaghetti strap dress, and we are going to sew V-neckline spaghetti strap dress. This tutorial was supposed to be finished last year. As you can see here, it was December 2022, but we are going to do it this January 2023. So let me show you closely. This is what we are going to sew. A V neckline, okay, and for our back we are going to have just a straight neckline for our back part. Okay, as usual, these are the materials needed. We have our fabric scissors. Here we have the white pencil. This one, we are going to use it to draw in our fabric. We have the tape measure, we have the pins, we have the rulers. This is the curved ruler and the straight ruler, and these are the patterns. So just to show you closely, these are the patterns. The top one here, this one is for the back, and the bottom one, this one is for the front. So just to remind you, remember when we were drawing our pattern, we didn't draw the whole length of our pattern. It is only 25 inches long. Okay, so let me take you back to our drawing. This is our dress, and the length is 51 inches. Okay, like I said, our pattern is only 25 inches, and so we are going to add the rest of the length on the fabric. So here is our fabric, very beautiful color and pattern. The size of this fabric is 1.5 meters. Okay, so for this dress we are not going to have any lining. Okay, our material is heavy enough, we don't need to have any lining. Okay, as you can see, it is not even a see-through, so we are not going to have any lining for the bottom part of our dress. Unfortunately, my table was not enough for me to spread the fabric, so I had to lay it on the floor. So after folding our pattern, this is how you are going to place your pattern. So like I said before, our pattern is shorter compared to the length of our dress, and so here I'm adding the rest of the length on the fabric. So after putting the mark where it's supposed to end, take your ruler and draw a line. This is the end of your dress, and we've also added the seam allowance for the hem. So here I had to reset the pattern in the fabric because when I extended the side seam, the fabric was not enough. Okay, so after resetting our pattern in the fabric, now we are drawing the side seam. As you can see now, the fabric is enough to accommodate our side seam line. So make sure when you are drawing this side seam, it is going to meet the hemline that we have drawn before. Okay? So here is our hemline. So here we are taking care of the sharp corner. Remember what we did with our pattern? Redraw your hemline. Okay, so now here we are adding the seam allowance. I'm just adding 0.5 inches for the seam allowance, okay? So here is our seam allowance line. So next, take your scissor and cut the fabric. So this is our front piece and this is our back piece. Okay, so we are done. Here we have our pockets. There are 4 pieces. This is our back. We have our back lining, okay, and our back piece. This is the front with the lining. This is the lining and the front piece. So we are going to start with our facings, okay. This one here is a facing for the front, and this other one is for the back. Now sew a 1-inch hem for both pieces. Okay, so we are done. Now let us iron so that the seams stays flat, and after that we are going to put them aside. Next we are going to take care of the straps. Here I'm measuring a length of 14 inches and the width of 6 inches for our strap. We are going to cut each strap 3 inches wide and 14 inches long. Then cut your fabric. So here is one of our strap. What I did, I folded half an inch on either side, and then we are going to fold at the middle. Then iron so that your fabric should stay flat like this. So here is our strap, but we are going to finish by sewing here at the other end. Okay? Here are our straps. Now let us continue. Take out all the pattern paper from the pockets, from the back piece as well as the front piece. Now take your front piece and we are going to measure from the arm side 8 inches going down and put a mark. This is where we are going to put our pocket. Here is our mark. Now open your front piece and now align with your back piece. Okay, make sure you align the side seam well. After aligning the side seam, make sure also you attach the pocket pieces. Okay, here let me show you how I have attached them. Remember, where we've put a mark is where your pocket is going to start. So here is our pocket piece. You can see the direction where our pocket is facing, right side facing each other, and sew at the side seam, and then turn your pocket and sew at the top of the pocket piece. So here we are, our pocket is ready, sewn at the side seam, then turned and sewn at the top, just like this. Then iron, and then after that align these two pocket pieces, just like this. Then here at the arm side, leave 1.5 inch and start to sew your side seam all around the pocket to the hem. So after finishing with the side seam, now we are going to continue with the facings. Here we are attaching the front facing. Okay, align your facing well with the front piece. Here I had already attached the back facing as well as the straps. Okay, here they are. So now take your strap like I do here, and we are going to put it between our front piece and the facing. Okay, just like this. Make sure your strap is straight, okay, and facing the right direction. For example, here I wanted the side of the strap which is sewn to face the shoulder. Okay, so make sure you've done so and put your facing on the top, just like this. Okay, align well. So remember, we left 1 inch of an allowance for the straps. After making sure that everything is well, now attach or secure with a pin all around. Now let us counter check. After we've sewn our neckline, when we are going to turn our facing, it will look like this. Okay, so make sure always you have counter checked before you start sewing. Okay, now let us finish our front neckline. Okay, so we are done, okay, with our facings. That is our back and this is our front. This is what we were sewing. Let me just show you. Okay, this is what we did. Remember, at the center of our front here, we need to put a cut, okay, so that our seam will lay flat. So now let us take care of our side seam. Okay, remember, we have not yet finished. Turn your dress inside out, making sure that the facings are lining well, the front and the back facing, just like this. Okay, Now start to sew from that point up to where we ended here. Okay, so here our seam is done and I've already ironed, as you can see. Okay, so now let us see how our facings are going to look from inside. This is how it is going to look, just perfect and clean. Okay, now let us finish our dress by hemming, but first let me show you the sharp corners. Can you see them? Here at the side seam. So here I'm going to take care of these corners, and we are going to use this curved ruler to take care of the sharp corners at the side seam. Can you see the difference now? I hope you do. Now here I've already overlocked our hem, and now let us finish with the hemming. So here is our dress, just fitting very perfectly, the front and the back as well as the sides. But I want to share with you the mistakes that I've made when I was making this dress. I'm sharing with you again this part of the video to show you the sharp corners at the hem of our dress. Okay? And this is how we ended up with the sharp corners at the hem. So for me to be able to explain it well, I had to draft a pattern, a 51 inches long pattern for our dress. Okay? And this one here is a pattern that we use to make our dress, a short version. Okay? I just want to compare it by putting it side by side. You can see our top part of the pattern aligns very well. Okay, so one thing to notice, our short pattern, this is the maximum flare or the maximum spread that we made for this short pattern, okay, from here to here. So when you look at it, compare with the maximum spread that we've made with our big or the bottom pattern. So let me show you closely. When we were opening the waist dart, our maximum spread with our top pattern, okay, and compare it with our bottom pattern. With the short pattern, we've even taken care of the corners. So like I said, here we had already spread our pattern to the maximum, and then what we did, we just draw a line to extrapolate from the corner up to the end of our dress. And if you look at our pattern, it is not as sharp as you compare with our fabric. Now I want to share my second mistake, and it's the length of the dress. I've put my dress aligned with the pattern that I've made, okay? And you can see clearly that the dress is short compared to the pattern. The pattern that I've used to make the dress is the one that we've used to make this dress here, okay? You remember our square neckline spaghetti dress, which had a length of 38, the mid length. And remember we added this part here of 13 inches long. And so I took that pattern and I did almost the same as we did here. I measured from the end, this is our pattern, from the end here, only 13 inches, okay? But I forgot that we had made a lot of modification. I think on our part 3 of this series, we made a lot of modification, and I think the length of the pattern had reduced. So this pattern became shorter, and for me to measure only 13 inches from the end was a mistake. So in the end, I had to add a piece of material here almost at the bottom of our dress to make it a full length of 51 inches long. So here is our lesson. Thank you very much for watching.